Today we will study about optical instruments. A number of optical instruments and devices have been designed utilizing reflecting and refracting properties of mirrors, lenses and prisms. Periscope, kaleidoscope, binoculars, telescopes, microscopes are some examples of optical devices and instruments that are in common use. Our eye is, of course, one of the most important optical devices the nature has endowed us with. We have already studied about human eye in lower classes. We now go on to describe the principles of microscope and telescope working. Under this section, we have compound microscope, telescope, astronomical telescope, summary and worked examples. Compound microscope. It is combination of two convex lenses to compound the effect of one by the other. The lens near the object is called object. To the eye is called eyepiece. Both lenses are of small focal length, but f0 is smaller than fe. That is, focal length of objective is less than the focal length of eyepiece. Tube length. Tube length, the distance between second focal point of the objective and the first focal point of the eyepiece is called the tube length. That is, this distance is called tube length. Now we will form an equation for the magnifying power. Angular modification or magnifying power of a combined microscope is defined as the ratio of angle beta subtended by the final image at the eye to the angle alpha subtended by the object seen directly when both are placed at the least distance of distinct vision. Here the angular modification is ratio of beta to alpha. Beta is the angle subtended to the final image. In this diagram, the final image is A double dash and B double dash, final image to the eye, and angle alpha. Alpha is here, which is the object angle subtended by the object seen directly without these lenses. So, magnification is ratio of beta to alpha. Let us describe the compound microscope. It consists of two lenses, one small lens objective called objective, which is very near to the object. Here AB is the object whose height is h, and the distance between the lens called objective and the object is u, and the focal length of this objective is f0 as shown in this diagram. This is the principal axis. The second lens in a compound microscope is called eyepiece. This is eyepiece which a larger aperture and focal length. The focal length of eyepiece is Fe. It is Fe as shown in the figure. And eye is very close to the eyepiece. So through this eye and eyepiece we see the object. And H dash is the first image inverted but real image. A dash B dash is the image of the object AB, and again it gets second refraction, and through eye we see the image at infinity. This is a small and brief description of compound microscope. D is the distance between eyepiece and the final image, which is final image. Hence, as per definition, we have two magnifications. One is magnification of objective. that is linear magnification. This is magnification. H is magnified to H dash. This is MO. Magnification of objective is MO and given by equation H by H dash, that is the definition. So, from the geometry we have to find H and H dash. Let us see tan beta. Tan beta here. Tan beta, this is the angle beta which is subtended by the ray 1 towards principal axis. Tan beta is opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side here is H, that is equal to AB. It is H divided by F naught. Base is adjacent side is F naught. So, therefore, tan beta is equal to H by F naught, that is also equal to H dash by L. Here in this triangle, beta is also equal to H dash by L. Therefore, the magnification of the objective MO is equal to H by H dash, that is equal to L by F naught. Let this be equation 1. Now, we will find the magnification of eyepiece by using the principles of simple microscope. We find that ME, the magnification of eyepiece, is given by 1 plus D by F, which is obtained from the equation of a simple microscope, where V naught by U naught, V naught is the distance image formed by the objective lens and U naught is the distance of object from the objective. Therefore, when the final image is formed at infinity, the magnification of eyepiece is given by 1 plus D by Fe. But since image is formed at infinity, we can neglect this 1 and take only D by Fe, because D is very large. Therefore, magnification of eyepiece is given by D by Fe. Let it be equation number 3. The final magnification is given by M is equal to M naught, that is magnification of M objective and magnification of eyepiece, M naught into ME, that is equal to, from this equation, M naught is equal to L by F naught. This is M naught is equal to L by F naught and ME is equal to D by Fe from equation number 3. So, combining these two, we get magnification in respect of compound microscope is given by the equation M naught ME, that is equal to L by F naught into D by Fe. Let it be equation number 4. This is the magnification of compound microscope. Telescope. Telescope is used to provide angular magnification of distant objects. It also has an objective and eyepiece. But here the objective has a large focal length and a much larger aperture than eyepiece. Here you see it also has got an objective. This is the objective and the eyepiece is here. If you see this, here the objective has a large focal length. This is a large focal length and much larger aperture. This is a very big aperture. Light from the distant object enters the objective, distant object enters the objective and a real image, see, this gets reflected from the objective mirror and falls on the secondary mirror, and then again from here it is reflected and it is seen at the eyepiece. So, the light from the distant object enters the objective and a real image is formed in the tube. At its second focal point, the eyepiece magnifies its image, producing the first inverted image. The magnifying power m is the ratio of the angle beta subtended at I by the final image to the angle alpha which the object subtends at the lens or the eye. Hence, m here also m is equal to beta by alpha, that is equal to h by fe into f naught by h, that is equal to f naught by fe. In this case, the length of telescope tube is f naught plus fe. Terrestrial telescopes have in addition a pair of inverting lenses to make final object erect. Terrestrial telescope means which is used for viewing the terrestrial objects. Refracting telescopes can be used both for terrestrial and astronomical observations. For example, consider a telescope whose objective has a focal length of 100 centimeters and eyepiece a focal length of 1 centimeter. Therefore, the magnifying power of this telescope is m is equal to 100 by 1, that is equal to magnifying power is 100. Reflecting telescope. The main considerations with an astronomical telescope are its light gathering power and its resolution or its resolving power. The former clearly depends on the area of objective with larger diameters. Fainter objects can be observed. The resolving power or the ability to observe two objects distinctly which are in very nearly the same direction also depend on the diameter of the objective. So, the desirable aim in optical telescope is to make them with objective of larger diameter. The largest lens objective is in use has a diameter of 40 inches, that is approximately equal to 1.02 meter. It is at the Yerkes Observatory in Wisconsin, USA. Such big lenses tend to be very heavy and therefore difficult to make and support their edges. Further, it is rather difficult and expensive to make such large size lenses which form images that are free from any kind of chromatic aberrations and distortions. For these reasons, modern telescopes use a concave mirror rather than a lens for the objective. Telescopes with mirror objectives are called reflecting telescopes. There is no chromatic aberration in a mirror. Mechanical support is much less of a problem since a mirror weighs much less than a lens of equivalent optical quality and can be supported over its entire back surface, not just over its rim. One obvious problem with a reflecting microscope is that the objective mirror focuses the light inside the telescope. You please see here, the objective mirror focuses the light inside the telescope. One must have an eyepiece and the observer right there obstructing the some light independence. Advantages of reflecting telescope is there is no chromatic aberration. Mechanical support is much less of a problem. since a mirror weighs much less than a lens of equivalent optical quality and can be supported over its entire back surface, not just over its rim. Convex Cassegrain telescope is one of the examples of a reflecting type of telescope. Light rays from the far objects are reflected by a concave objective mirror and made to fall on the convex mirror, which in turn focuses to pass through a hole. This is a hole and the light passes through this hole on a eyepiece. The image is seen through the eyepiece and it is named after its inventor. Another example of a reflecting type of telescope is Newtonian telescope. The only difference between the two is both have similar type of objective mirror, that is a concave mirror, but the reflecting mirror here in Cassegrain telescope is secondary and convex. It is a convex, so focusing towards eye, whereas here it is a reflecting and a plane mirror. And here the whole body of the telescope can be tilted in Newtonian telescope, whereas it is a straight parallel, it is horizontal. These are the two different differences between the two telescopes. Magnifying power in both the cases is given by m is equal to f naught by fe. Astronomical telescopes are refracting type telescopes. Here we have two lenses called objective lens. This is an objective lens and an eyepiece separated by a distance. This is L. Both are separated by a distance L, which is equal to f naught plus fe, where f naught is the focal length of the objective. This is the focal length. F naught is a focal length of the objective and fe is the focal length of the eyepiece, which is small. So obviously f naught, as seen from the diagram, f naught is larger than fe. It is used for observing distinct images of heavenly bodies, that is astronomical means heavenly bodies. It is used for observing images of heavenly bodies like stars and planets. Objective lens is a convex lens of large aperture. Please note, it is a large size, large aperture and large focal length. So f naught is also large and aperture is also large. It produces a real and inverted image. See, it produces a real and inverted image at the point fe. Whereas eyepiece is a lens of small aperture and small focal length. It magnifies the image. This eyepiece magnifies this image I and finally produces an inverted image at the infinity, which can be seen through an eye. Disadvantage of astronomical or refracting type telescope is manufacturing a huge lens is difficult. This is such a huge lens is very difficult, and images are not free from chromatic aberration. Chromatic color distortion and aberrations and distortions are the disadvantage of astronomical telescopes. Now let us define magnifying power of a refracting telescope. Magnifying power here is defined as m is equal to beta by alpha. Beta is the angle as shown in the figure subtended by the principal axis and the ray emanating from the image, the first image. Beta and alpha is the angle made without the help of lenses. It is as shown here in this alpha in the diagram. Therefore, m is equal to beta by alpha. that is approximately equal to tan beta by tan alpha. So tan beta here, if you take tan beta, opposite side by adjacent side, that is opposite side is I divided by Fe. Here tan beta, and alpha, tan alpha is once again I divided by F naught. Therefore, magnifying power of a refracting telescope is F naught by Fe, where F naught and Fe are focal lengths of objective and eyepiece respectively. Tube length. Tube length is given by F naught plus Fe, that is equal to L, as shown in this diagram. This is L, F naught plus Fe. This is the tube length. When final image is formed at infinity, then M is equal to F naught by Fe, that is length of telescope is equal to L equals F naught by F naught plus Fe. For large magnifying power of a telescope, F naught should be large and Fe should be small. Now, having studied the theory part, we will revise, or we will go through quickly the study material starting from reflection of light. Reflection of light has been deleted from the syllabus of class 12 by CBSE, but this is very important from the point of view of your competitive examination, as well as deriving some equations in the chapter optical rays and instruments. Hence, let us go through quickly the study material. Laws of reflection. The incident ray, the normal ray and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. The angle of incidence I is equal to angle of reflection R. Now, sign convention for spherical mirrors. All distances measured are done from the pole of the mirror and height measurements are from the principal axis. The distances measured in the direction of the incident ray are positive, that is, say, from left to right are positive, and the opposite direction of the incident ray are negative, that is, right to left are negative. The heights measured upwards, that is, bottom to top, are from principal axis are positive and downwards are negative. The relationship between focal length and radius of curvature of spherical mirror is F is equal to R2, R by 2, sorry, F is equal to focal length is equal to half of radius. Mirror formula is given by the equation 1 over V plus 1 over U is equal to 1 over F, where U is the object distance, V is the image distance and F is the focal length. Linear magnification is the ratio of the size of image to the size of object. Therefore, magnification in the case of reflection of light is M is equal to V by U, that is image distance over the object distance, that is also given by the equation F minus V divided by F, or that is also given by F is divided by F minus U. Here it is in terms of image distance and focal length, and whereas it is object distance and focal length. You can use any of these formulae for solving numerical problems. If M is greater than 1, then the image is magnified. If M is less than 1, then image is diminished. If M is equal to 1, then image is of same size of the object. If M is positive, then image is virtual and erect. If M is negative, then image is real and inverted. Please note, if M is positive, the image is virtual and erect. If M is negative, image is real but inverted. Phenomenon of bending of light at interface of two media when it enters from one medium to another medium is called refraction of light. That is, Refraction is nothing but bending of light. Laws of refraction. The incident ray, the normal and refracted ray all lie in the same plane. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence and sine of angle of refraction is constant for a given pair of media. That is, for one particular media, sine I divided by sine R is equal to n. That is called refractive index. Snell's law of refraction. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence and sine of angle of refraction is refractive index of refracting media n2 with respect to incident medium. That is, sine I divided by sine R is equal to n2 by n1. That is equal to n. The ratio of speed of light in free space to that in a medium is called the absolute refractive index. Please note absolute refractive index, that is given by n is equal to c by v, where n is the absolute refractive index, c is the velocity of light in free space, and v is the speed of light in that media. If the absolute refractive index of medium 1 is greater than medium 2, then medium 1 is said to be optically denser medium and medium 2 is said to be optically rarer medium. Say for example, glass. If the refractive index of glass is greater than refractive index of air, then glass is a denser medium and air is the rarer medium. The ratio of absolute refractive index of one medium to that of another medium is called relative refractive index of both the media. Principle of reversibility. The relative refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is reciprocal to the relative refractive index of medium 1 to medium 2. That is, n21 is equal to 1 over n12. An object under water appears to be raised due to refraction when observed inclined. That is, n is equal to the refractive index is equal to real depth over apparent depth. That means, when we view a object in water, it appears to be above, that is, it appears to be raised to a refraction when observed inclined. Shift in the position, that is, when it appears to be upper or raised, the shift is given by the equation x is equal to t into flower bracket 1 minus 1 over n, where t is the actual depth of the medium. The phenomenon of reflection of light completely into the denser medium without refraction into the rarer medium is called total internal reflection. That is, the light is completely, when a light travels from a denser to a rarer medium, and if because of the angle of incidence, if the light ray is refracted back to the medium, rarer medium itself, then it is called the total internal reflection. I will read this once again. The phenomenon of reflection of light completely into the denser medium without, please note, without refraction into the rarer medium is called the total internal reflection. Conditions of total internal reflection. The light must propagate from optically denser medium to an optically rarer medium. Say in the case of from a glass to air. The angle of incidence in the denser medium must be greater than the critical angle. Please note critical angle. Critical angle we will define, we have already studied in the theory part, but you note critical. If the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then total internal reflection occurs. When a ray of light travels from a denser to a rarer medium, and if the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, the ray of light is reflected back to the denser medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. It is given by the equation sin C, sine of an angle, critical angle, C is the critical angle, is equal to refractive index of the rarer medium to the refractive index of the denser medium. This principle of total internal reflection is used in detecting the brilliance of diamond, totally reflecting prisms, mirage, looming and optical fibers. Refraction through spherical surfaces. When light falls on a convex refracting surface, it bends, and the relation between the object distance, image distance and radius of curvature is given by n2 by v minus n1 by u equals n2 minus n1 divided by r, where n2 is the refractive index of the convex surface, v is the image distance and n1 is the refractive index of the medium 1 divided by u is the object distance, that is equal to n2 minus n1 divided by r. Many times we are using this equation to analyze the light rays passing through different slabs with different refractive indices. Lens maker formula. Lens maker formula or thin lens formula is given by the equation 1 over f is equal to n2 minus n1 within brackets divided by n1 into 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2, where n2 is the refractive index of the medium 2 and n1 is the refractive index of the medium 1, and r1 is the radius of curvature of the medium 1 and r2 is the radius of curvature of the lens 2. I will repeat here, 1 over f is equal to n2 minus n1. n2 is the refractive index of the lens 2 and n1 is the refractive index of the lens 1, and r1 is the radius of curvature of lens 1 and r2 is the radius of curvature of the lens 2. For convex lens, r1 is positive and r2 is negative because of the distances and image formation. For concave lens, r1 is negative and r2 is positive because of the image formations once again, and it is according to sign conventions. When two lenses are kept in contact, the equivalent focal length is given by 1 over f is equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2, where the equivalent capital F is the equivalent focal length, f1 is the focal length of one lens 1 and f2 is the focal length of lens 2, and power of the combined lenses are P is equal to P1 plus P2. Dispersion of light. Combination of lenses helps us to increase the magnification of image, increase the sharpness of final image by reducing the defects of image formed by a single lens, and make the image erect with respect to object, and increase the field of view. These are the 4 advantages of combination of lenses. Lens formula is given by 1 over V minus 1 over U is equal to 1 over F. Please note the difference between lens formula and lens maker's formula. When light passes through a glass prism, it undergoes refraction. The expression for refractive index is given by n21, that is refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is given, that is equal to n2 by n1 equals sine of a plus delta m by 2 divided by sine a by 2, where a is the angle of prism and delta is the minimum angle of deviation. The phenomenon of splitting up of polychromatic light into its constituent colors is dispersion of light. Cause of dispersion: according to Cauchy's formula, the refractive index n of material depends upon the wavelength lambda and is given by n is equal to a plus b by lambda square plus c by lambda 4, lambda to the power of 4. A, b and c are constants. Scattering of light takes place when size of the particle is very small when compared to the wavelength of the light. Intensity of scattered light is given by I is proportional to 1 over lambda to the power of 4. The following properties or phenomena can be explained by scattering. Sky is blue, sun is reddish at time of sunrise and sunset. Infrared photography used in foggy days. Orange color of black box, yellow light used in vehicles on foggy days and red light used in singles. Please note, the scattering of light has been deleted by CBSE for the year 2020 to 21. Hence, you can skip it. Magnifying power m of a simple microscope is given by equation m is equal to 1 plus within brackets capital D over f, where D is equal to 25 centimeter is the distance of distinct vision and f is the focal length of convex lens. If the image is at infinity, m is given by m is equal to D by f. For a compound microscope, the magnifying power is given by the equation m is equal to me into mo, where m is the magnification of compound microscope, me is the magnification of eyepiece and mo is the magnification of objective. me is given by the equation me is equal to 1 plus d by fe. It is same as the simple microscope case of simple microscope which we discussed in the previous paragraph. Here in compound microscope, me is the magnification due to eyepiece and mo is given by V naught by minus u naught is the magnification produced by objective. Therefore, m is equal to V by minus u naught into d by fe. M is equal to minus of L by f naught into 1 plus d by fe. Approximately m is equal to minus of L by f naught into d by fe, where f naught and fe are the focal lengths of objective and eyepiece respectively, and L is the distance between their focal points. F naught or FO both are same. Magnifying power m of a telescope is the ratio of angle beta subtended at the eye by the object. Therefore, m is equal to beta by alpha, that is equal to f naught by Fe, where Fo and Fe are focal lengths of objective and eyepiece respectively. L is equal to Fo plus Fe, where L is called the length of telescope in the normal adjustment. Please remember these paragraphs, these are all helpful in solving numerical problems. And also note the difference between the magnifying power of a simple microscope, magnifying power of a compound microscope, as well as magnifying powers of telescope. You have to clearly distinguish between one another. Having studied the theory and then revising through the study material, let us take up some simple work examples. More work examples will be given in our website as well as the links mentioned in our videos. You please go through and complete all the work examples. Question number 1. You are given following 3 lenses. Which 2 lenses will you use as an eyepiece and as an objective to construct an astronomical telescope? Please go through this table. Here there are 3 lenses given, L1, L2 and L3, and their powers are also given 3D, 6D and 10D, and their aperture A is also given. Aperture of lens L1 is 8 centimeters, aperture of lens L2 is 1 centimeter and L3 it is 1 centimeter. So, these are the 3 different apertures and 3 different powers. So, he is asking which one will you select as an eyepiece and which one you will select as an objective to construct an astronomical telescope. The objective of an astronomical telescope should have the maximum diameter. Therefore, and its eyepiece should have maximum power. Therefore, we have to select maximum diameter and maximum power. Hence, L1 could be used as an objective, L1 because of its larger aperture, and L3 because of its maximum power. So, therefore, for astronomical telescope we have to select L1 as objective and L3 as the eyepiece. Question number 2. Calculate the magnification obtained by a compound microscope having an objective of focal length 1.5 centimeter and eyepiece of focal length 2.5 centimeter and tube length of 30 centimeter. Therefore, he is asking us to find the magnification of a compound microscope. Given f naught is equal to 1.5 centimeter, Fe is equal to 2.5 centimeter and L is equal to 30 centimeter. Magnification of compound microscope is given by the equation m is equal to m naught into me. That is given by the formula L by f naught into d by Fe. That is equal to 30 by 1.5 into 25 by 2.5, that is equal to 200. What is the focal length of combination of a convex lens? Question number 3. What is the focal length of combination of convex lens of focal length 30 centimeter and concave lens of 20 centimeter? Is the system a converging or diverging lens? Ignore the thickness of lenses. Therefore, given f1 is equal to 30 centimeters, f2 is equal to minus 20 centimeter, that is concave, because it is a concave lens here, it is minus 20 centimeter, f we have to find out. Formula for combination of lenses is given by 1 over f is equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2. Therefore, 1 over f is equal to 1 over 30 and plus 1 over minus 20 because it is a concave lens, that is equal to minus 60. So, final f is equal to minus 60. Focal length of the combination is minus 60. Therefore, because it is minus, it is a concave lens. So, this system of lens behaves as a concave lens and not converging. So, concave lens are not converging, but diverging. Question number 4. A small telescope has an objective lens of focal length 144 centimeter and an eyepiece of focal length 6 centimeters. This is a small telescope. What is the magnifying power of telescope? 1. That what is the separation between the objective and eyepiece? F naught is equal to 144 centimeters, Fe is equal to 6 centimeters. Therefore, M is equal to, we have to find out, and L also we have to find out. Magnification of small telescope is given by M is equal to minus of F naught by Fe, that is equal to minus 144 divided by 6, that is equal to minus 24. Therefore, M is equal to small telescope minus F naught by Fe, that is equal to minus 24 magnification. So, small telescope tube length is given by L is equal to F naught plus Fe, that is equal to 144 plus 6, that is equal to 150 centimeter. Which of the following properties of light, velocity, wavelength and frequency changes during the phenomenon, reflection and reflection? That means, he has simply asked what happens to velocity, wavelength and frequency when the reflection takes place, or case 1 and case 2 refraction takes place. When reflection takes place, there is no change of velocity, no change of wavelength and no change of frequency in case of reflection. Whereas, in the case of refraction, velocity changes and wavelength changes, but there is no change of frequency. Question number 6. A giant refracting telescope at an observatory has an objective lens of focal length 15 meter. If an eyepiece of focal length 1 centimeter is used, what is the angular magnification of telescope? If this telescope is used to view moon, what is the diameter of the image of moon formed by the objective lens? The diameter of moon is 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 meters and radius of lunar orbit is 3.8 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. So, he has given the focal length of objective as 15 meter. You see, FO is 15 meter, FE is 1 centimeter. So, you see the difference, that is a 15 meter and 1 centimeter is the difference. What is the angular magnification? We have to find M, and if this telescope is used to view moon, what is the diameter of the image formed by the objective lens? The diameter of the moon is, he has given the equation, and we have to find the diameter of moon using this giant refracting telescope. So, answer. So, given F naught is equal to 15 meter, Fe is equal to 1 centimeter, that is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters, converting 1 centimeter into meter. Magnification of a telescope. It is given by M is equal to beta by alpha, that is equal to F naught by Fe, that is equal to 15 divided by 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2, that is equal to 1500. So, magnification is 1500. Diameter of moon is 3.48 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter. So, radius of lunar orbit is 3.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter. So, therefore, angle subtended is equal to d by f naught. That is d by f naught is d is 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 15 meters. That is given by another, this is the radius. So, d by 15 is equal to 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 3.8. This value is 0.916. Therefore, d is equal to 0.916 into 15, that is 13.74 meters. Let us take up last example. Cassegrain telescope uses two mirrors built with mirrors 20 mm apart. If the radius of curvature of large mirror is 220 mm and the small mirror is 40 mm, where will the image of an object at infinity be? Here the object, that is some terrestrial body, is at infinity, and we are having two mirrors, one large mirror whose radius of curvature is 220, R1 is 220 and R2 is 40 mm, and we have to find the final image of object. The Cassegrain telescope consists of a concave mirror and a convex mirror. Distance between objective mirror and a secondary mirror is 20 mm. Radius of curvature of objective mirror is R1 is equal to 220. Hence, focal length of objective is given by f1 is equal to R1 by 2, that is equal to 110 mm. Radius of curvature of secondary mirror is R2 is equal to 140 mm. Therefore, f2 will be is equal to 140 divided by 2, that is equal to 70 mm. The image of an object placed at infinity formed by the objective mirror will act as a virtual object for the secondary mirror. Hence, the virtual object distance for the secondary mirror is u is equal to f1 minus d, that is equal to 110 minus 20 equals 90 mm. Applying the mirror formula for the secondary mirror, we can get 1 over f2 is equal to 1 over v plus 1 over u, that is equal to 1 over v is equal to 1 over f2 minus 1 over u. The answer is 2 by 630. Therefore, reversing, v will be equal to 630 by 2. 630 by 2 is 350 mm. Hence, the final image will be formed 315 mm away from the secondary mirror.